Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And as you can see here, the market is very mixed. Well, some money has left. The market cap is down 1.6%, 2.52 trillion right now. There are some alts that have been able to eke out a gain. That would be Phantom, Curve, Harmony in the top 100. They're doing the best, 10 to 15% up. But Ethereum is off 3%. It has dipped below 4,000, and Bitcoin also off 3%, slipping in its dominance at 45%. And in this video, I'm not going to be one of those people telling you that we're still in the middle of a big super cycle, because quite frankly, if you haven't figured that out, nobody knows. What I want to talk about is fundamentals, and specifically with the digital asset XRP. We have some news that the utility is growing. Also, we have a new phone interview from Brad Garlinghouse. That is something that went into print. He's talking IPO. He's talking Q3 results. He's also talking about Joe Lubin. That, of course, would be Joe Lubin of Consensus, who is driving the growth of Ethereum. And, well, I can tell you that in another video, I'm going to show you a clip that just proves that the free pass that Ethereum got, or the reasoning behind that free pass, was so wrong. All right, first, thanks to Bank XRP, an excellent update from the Australian payments company Novati. Novati was on the channel back in May. And the reason why this company is someone that we watch if you are an XRP holder is because they use the digital asset for their payment corridors. The Philippines, for sure, was off to a start for them, and now they are also partnered with the Siam Commercial Bank in Thailand. This is a major bank, and they were one of the first to test on-demand liquidity with SBI in a pilot years ago. But at the end of the day, utility does matter. And I put this clip up there, and I will put a link to the video in its entirety in the description of this particular one, where I'm talking about the XRP ledger with Karma coverage. He is pointing out in this clip that the denser the network, the more flow, and with more flow comes a healthy system. So the news that the ODL user Novati today is hooking up with the Siam Commercial Bank in Thailand, this network continues to get denser. Have a listen to just this 1 minute portion here.
The fact that if I just don't know you, and all of a sudden I'm a bank, and I all of a sudden have a customer that wants to send some money to Japan, I mean, I can't, I'm still going to end up going through this center cluster. And that's where the little banks get taxed by the big banks. And the friction and yada, yada, yada. You know the story. So this is, I think, another thing. When you're using complexity science, math, and stuff, this would be considered a much more dense network. So rather than this. So it's not so, I mean, our human bodies are complex adaptive systems. We're a network of networks. So you want blood flowing, you know? You want, like, electricity flowing. You want, water and energy going through all of your veins, and they're all networks. So the denser the network, the more flow.
Yeah, I think it was a good analogy to use that flow of everybody's system like we are seeing ODL now. All right, this is a big phone interview in the Information Media. They're an outfit from San Francisco. And there was a lot of interesting reveal, like the Ripple network has gained 33% in Q3, bolstering the bank balance to more than 500 million. They have hundreds of customers and billions in transactions. Also, there have been a lot of blank check companies that have approached the firm. They want to take it public. So I think when you are thinking about listing, everything is on hold right now, according to Mr. Garlinghouse. But I want to read this portion here. Would you ever consider taking Ripple public, and do you have an idea of what track you'd do or you'd take doing that? So he goes on to say that the likely evolution of Ripple as a company will be into a public entity, and you don't have to be a U.S. public company. There's plenty of public companies in London and Hong Kong and Singapore. And so, arguably, I wouldn't assume that with the US SEC, it doesn't necessarily mean that Ripple can't be a public company with a lawsuit with the SEC. So I think for now, he says all things being equal, the US equities market is the largest and most efficient. And I don't think trying to prioritize being a public company in the middle of an SEC lawsuit makes a lot of sense. So we certainly get overtures from the SPACs, and those SPACs are the special purchase acquisition companies. So, I had the question because I started to think, what about those shares, those private shares that you acquire through Link 2? They sell private shares that they have acquired privately, and then they create these products that are, very illiquid until the company goes public. So they're very highly speculative, and you have to realize that not all companies go public. So that is why it is a little higher risk. I think that the Ripple shares that are offered, I think there's, from the article that was printed from the phone interview, there's a strong intent to go public. But what happens if the company does go public in London, Hong Kong, or Singapore, and you have shares that you've purchased from Link 2? Do they have to be a U.S. public company to have those shares be transferable? That was my question, because I don't know how that works if Ripple decides to go public outside of the U.S. and you have shares that have been issued as a security offering, basically a financial instrument product in the U.S. So I don't know. I hope that they answer. I'm just very curious as to what the answer is. And you can see here that the title of this article was Ripple CEO, It's a Joke that some execs believe the SEC isn't harming crypto. What he is referring to is an article that was published by that same outfit back on on October 4th. And the CEO, Joe Lubin, who is 57, and he co-founded the Ethereum blockchain behind Ethereum, Bitcoin's biggest rival, and runs a 500-person, they're still calling it a startup. Consensus is feeling more charitable towards the financial regulators that are threatening to patrol crypto's frontier lands. In a Zoom interview from his home in Brooklyn, he said that he thinks Gensler is under a lot of pressure and may deserve what he's asked Congress for, which is greater authority to govern the industry. The SEC may have legit arguments in the cases that it is being discussed right now. He said, I don't believe the SEC is trying to squelch innovation. Well, this is where, many people would beg to differ. What I found interesting is Lubin says in this article that he sold much of his Ether holdings, reported to be among the single largest of the currency, to fund the business. I mean, that ICO and the Ethereum he acquired is used to fund the business, which is what everybody who buys Ethereum speculates, that the price is going to go higher. That is a security. And the price of Ether is, 10 times up over a year ago. So this is where I want to show you that there's a video. A lot of people are just catching up on this, and they don't really understand the reason that Hinman, who was with the SEC back in 2018 and that person who is responsible for giving Ethereum the free pass in that famous speech, they just don't understand, I think, that when we talk about how Ethereum is not sufficiently decentralized, I think people kind of scratch their heads, because I think most people think it is decentralized, but that is just not the case. I took a snip from this video here that was uploaded on the 20th of October, and I want you to listen. And when you hear this, how can you even say that Ethereum is decentralized? Here we go.
Absolutely. And so going a bit further into the whole topic of the merge, you've just got back from Greece recently.
Oh yeah, you can tell by the tan. Yeah. We spent 16 hours a day in a windowless basement, which was a shame. But we got basically dev teams from most of the clients, ETH1 and ETH2 side, and from the Ethereum Foundation, and a couple of consensus R&D teams. We all got together in an undisclosed location in Greece and spent the week basically building a merged testnet. So what this means is getting the ETH1 clients represented there and the ETH2 clients in all the combinations I previously mentioned, working on a single testnet and running Ethereum on proof of stake or simulated proof of stake. It's the first time we've done anything quite at that scale. We'd had a sort of hackathon earlier in the year where we'd done an early version of this, but this was a huge leap forward. And we reckon we saved about 3 months of remote work by getting together in one place. And after 2 years of not leaving my house, it was kind of nice to get together with people again. Yeah, I hadn't flown anywhere for 2 years, which is unheard of in the last 25 years.
So Ethereum is not done building out its product. It is totally going from 1.0 to 2.0, and it is being developed by a centrally organized group. So this is far from being decentralized. That is why the XRP holders question so much what has been done with giving Ethereum a free pass. And if you have any question as to what has actually gone on, Attorney John Deaton's video library is a treasure trove of the videos that have been found by the XRP community members that really tells the truth of what is obviously collusion among those who profited greatly by giving Ethereum that regulatory pass. So we are really still in the midst of this fight and this struggle. All right, everybody, I am jumping to the fluff, but before that, I need to give a shout out to Ratho Kahneman. I think he is very much underrated or undervalued in the community. I am learning to really pay attention to what he is uploading on Twitter, because he is on so many facets of the digital asset XRP that I just want to tell you that if you are looking for timely and important, relevant information, he is one to follow. Okay, so the way you wrap your cord tells a lot about who you are. This is a study that was a survey from 2,924 people, and they looked at all the different ways people wrap their cord, because they have found that it tells a lot about who you are as a person. So if you are one that does this side wrap, you're one of the 26% who are straightforward and very logical. But if you are one of the people that do a cross wrap, you're part of the 45%, and you like to show off your individual personality. And it's very interesting that most of the people who do a wrap like this are hardcore gamers. But you might be one that does your wrap diagonally. Well, that would mean you're part of the 13%, and very possible you were an honor student. You have a lot of discipline, especially with your time. Chances are you have a good job and a family. Interesting, huh? And if you do the tasuki, this is the kimono sleeve wrap, as they call it in Japan, well, then you are part of the 15% that are free thinkers. So think about how you do your wrap. It might have some insight to your personality and future. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.